What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to be talking about Kingdom Come: The Deliverance and specifically focusing on combat. Before we actually get into the video, I do want to mention a few things briefly. First off, all the footage that you're going to see in this video is currently in progress, so don't expect any of these things to actually be there in the final version of the game. They may very well be there, but with that in mind, they may very well not be there as well, so keep that in mind when you're watching some of this. It is very suspect to change. Also note in the description I'll have links to their Kickstarter and YouTube channel, so you can go ahead and learn more information. If you do want to learn more information though, I also recommend you check out the playlist in the link in the description for all the Kingdom Come videos I've done thus far. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first thing that really stood out to me is Warhorse Studios' approach to actual combat in the game. Unlike most studios, the developers actually did their research. They went around and looked for professional fencers, went to battle reenactments, and at the end of the day they decided the best way to get a great combat system built is by recording fencers actually fencing, learning the in-depth mechanics to how actual fencing and battles took place with swords as opposed to modern combat. So they had a bunch of fencers get in a room, put up a bunch of different cameras, first person point of view with GoPros, things like that, and then had them show off their techniques, and they're using those techniques to build a combat system. So it is from the ground up a very unique system that focuses on the real world mechanics rather than, hey, this is how hack and slash games work and this is how our game's going to work as well. So that's something I'm really excited to see. If they're able to pull this off, it could be a really unique dynamic to the game. As far as weapons go, we've seen the longsword focused on a lot, but in the final build we can expect axes, hammers, crossbows, and much more. Their unique combat system focuses on 3 different types of attacks: the stab, the slash, and then a special attack, which would be hitting, whether that be with the back of a sword, maybe with a crossbow, or actually kicking or punching the enemy. Your ability to combine these 3 attacks really determines your success in battle. In addition to those 3 attacks, there is also a button dedicated to defending attacks. Now the key thing with defending attacks in Kingdom Come is timing. So timing does need to be taken into account for you to be able to defend attacks and correctly counterattack. Now the limiting factor for your character actually comes down to stamina and positioning. So you do need to make sure you're keeping an eye on your stamina and use the enemy stamina to your advantage. So let them wear themselves out by just defending attacks, or maybe go on the aggressive and don't let their stamina build up. Also note that the RPG aspect of this game is always in effect, so if your swordsmanship is better than the opponent's, you will have the upper hand. Similarly, if you're better with a bow, you'll have the upper hand in that kind of combat. So do keep in mind the RPG aspect of the game is always in effect, and you will need to be paying attention to stamina and positioning in order to harm fully armored characters, which without correct stamina and positioning can be really difficult. The developers made it very clear that their goal is not to make a hack and slash game where you mow through 20 or 30 enemies at a time. What they said is that each time you're in combat, it's going to be more like a duel than a big battle. It's going to be more 1 versus 1 combat scenarios rather than you versus 10 enemies at a time. In closing, I want to bring up large scale battles because it is one of the cool parts of this game, and they did say that they're going to try to recreate some historical battles in the game. Now keeping in mind that you will not be the Grand Master, you will not be controlling the battle, choosing where troops go, or running trebuchets and things like that. Your main goal is to be a chess piece, right? You are one of the chess pieces in the overall game. So don't think that you're going to be the commander of an army. You're going to be actually fighting in it, which is much different than most games. Most games you're controlling armies, moving them to places, and winning battles based on your strategic skill, whereas in this game it's you fighting for your family and your survival. So guys, that's all I have for you today on Kingdom Come: The Combat section of the game. If you guys do want to learn more about Kingdom Come, I recommend you check out the other videos I've done. The simplest way to do so is by checking the link in the description and pulling up the full playlist. Do stay tuned because I think this week or maybe next there should be some more in-game footage released by Warhorse, which we will cover in depth on this channel. And before we close out the video, I want to ask one quick question. What are you most excited for in Kingdom Come: The Deliverance? I'd love to hear what you guys think. Please tell me in the comments below, and I will definitely respond to those comments with some of my thoughts as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time, peace, and here's the outro.